Today, we are traveling to 1984 Hong Kong for a film called Homecoming. I am actually from Hong Kong, so I'm extremely excited to share a movie from my own country. So, get your tickets ready, as we're about to take off. During the early 80s and 90s, that was the golden age of Hong Kong cinema. It brought some of the best martial art films, explosive shootout, and movies about triads and more. We were able to reach international waters, and at one point, we were considered just behind Hollywood and Bollywood. I will leave a list of some of my favorite films during that period in this post. Do check them out. However, today we're going to take a step back from all the big explosions and action and talk about a film called Homecoming. This movie was a great break and breather from all the big budget action movies during that time frame. And upon seeing this movie, I knew this movie would enter the list of my favorite films of all time. Homecoming is set in the 80s China. During that period, China was going through tumultuous changes. We were expanding so fast, it was almost hard to believe. People were moving to Hong Kong and other big cities due to economic reform, and hoped to have greater living standard, job opportunities, and just life in general. This movie was set in the middle during that period. We follow a girl named Carol, who returns to her hometown from Hong Kong. She is haunted by her past and hopes to escape it, hoping that her childhood hometown can bring her comfort. However, as soon as she realizes that upon seeing the new world, things are just never the same. On the other hand, her childhood friends long to move and explore and find comfort in the new world, but soon realizes that it won't work. This causes Carol and her friends to have contradictory value. This movie made me laugh, moved me to tears, and brought out so much emotion, and I'm so proud to say that this movie has joined and became one of my favorite films of all time. Let's first start with the score. Honestly, the score is so poetic and mesmerizing, it just provokes and brings you straight back in time. The score manages to elevate the scene in many ways, and in some scenes made me cry. Honestly, I can't give enough praise to the score of the film. And then, we have the enchanting gorgeous shots of rural lifestyle. And when they contrast it with the city later on in the film, it just makes an even stronger lasting impact. Every shot, not just the scenery, carries depth with it. Even the sound of water dripping from the ceiling evokes some sort of emotion. The slow pace of this film also works perfectly, as it brings you back to the rural part of the world, where everyone is living a day-to-day life without the hassle of today's society. The lingering shots of scenery just makes it that much more impactful, as you are forced to absorb what you see on screen. And the more you look at it, the more you fall in love. Honestly, I don't think I have anything bad to say about this film, as I think every frame, every second carries importance as you are brought back and allowed to contrast between the new and the old world. This movie is so touching that by the end I couldn't help but cry. This is what movies should do: transport you to another time frame and show you the world during that period, evoke emotions and allow us to reflect on those times that have gone by. Homecoming did just that. Upon finishing this movie, I immediately went online to look for a copy to place in my collection. There's none. This movie doesn't seem to be available on DVD nor Blu-ray, and honestly that saddens me. The only available way to see this movie with English subtitle is unfortunately on YouTube right now. I truly wish that this film can be preserved and continue to be remembered for years to come, and that it won't be forgotten and lost in history. Hence, this is what I do. I hope to share movies I've seen around the world and share it with you all, so that we can continue to preserve and share amazing films to all you film lovers, and not let them disappear and be forgotten in history. I give this movie a 10 out of 10. For more movies around the world, hit the subscribe button so I can continue to share and keep films like these alive for years to come.